during the week?
6 days a week. You know, we take Sundays off usually. I'll make it up if if I had PR or something during the week and I took the time off, I'll make it up on Sunday. But 4 to 6 hours a day. No, I'm sorry. No, we train 6 days a week. We finna not do this one. No, we're gonna do it right.
Okay.
Typically, train 6 days a week. It's really hard. It's 4 to 5 hours a day. It sucks. Do jiu-jitsu, boxing, kickboxing, and a run.
And who are you training with?
It's silly now. My training partners, obviously I can go on forever about those guys. John Fitch, Josh Koscheck, Josh Thompson, Trevor Prangley, Paul Buonatello, Bobby Southworth, Pat Minahan, Cain Velasquez, Trevor Prangley, and we got a who's who at AKA, so I got a lot of great training partners. And then my coaches, I think are some of the best coaches. We got Bob Cook is my head coach, Javier Mendez is one of my head coaches, Dave Camarillo is one of my jiu-jitsu coaches, one of the best judo and jiu-jitsu guys in the world. You know, and Wheatseed is my boxing coach, and he's like a witch doctor. It's really cool. And in
3 months, your new Muay Thai coach is going to be Robert the Terminator from Tiger Muay Thai.
Yeah,
is that correct?
We're bringing in Robert, so he's going to come in and be our Muay Thai trainer, and I'm real excited about that. The one thing we have lacked at AKA has been a Muay Thai trainer, and we're working on taking care of that right now and getting him in there and getting some more Muay Thai.
So yeah, what was your background? Where did you come from originally?
I started out a kid watching the Karate Kid on TV, and so I wanted to just be like him, and I would have been happy. So I got into Taekwondo, and I went through the whole Taekwondo system, forms and fighting, and obviously I wanted to fight more than anything. So I did a few years of Taekwondo, moved into kickboxing, did some weird Bondo kickboxing, then I got into Muay Thai. I came to Thailand, I lived twice, in 2000, 2001 training in Muay Thai, and then I transgressed into the MMA. You know, when I saw the UFC back in the early 90s, I knew that the people fighting in the UFC and doing good are the top fighters in the world. You know, those are the guys that are, the elite of the, as far as fighting goes. So I knew I had to do that, and so I told everybody that's what I was going to do, and they laughed.
I get a question behind camera. Who is so when you first started watching the UFC, who was your favorite fighter?
The most excited I've ever been over any fighter is Vitor Belfort. I always said I wanted to rival his times for his knockouts. You know, when he came on the scene back, I don't even know when it was, in the 90s, we'd never seen anyone dispatch people like that. And, me coming from a striking background, I didn't have as much jiu-jitsu and wrestling. So for me, it was good and inspirational to see another guy who was a striker do so well and hold his own so much. So Vanderlei Silva, Vitor Belfort, all those guys were usually my inspiration.
Next.
Your last fight would have helped that time.
Huh?
Your last fight would have helped you time.
Yeah, it did. That was a good one. I was pretty happy with that. I was pretty aggressive coming in. It was the fight was. I mean, it wasn't a lose-lose, but I mean, I didn't have a whole lot to gain, and I knew I had to have a dominant performance, and I knew I could have a dominant performance, so I had to just go out there and perform. And I went out there and I was angry, and I just wanted to go out there and make a point. So that's what I tried to do.
45 seconds, I'd say that's a point, right?
Huh?
45 seconds, that's them making a point?
33 seconds.
Sorry.
So 33 seconds. Okay, let's get that correct. 33 seconds. Mark?
How far do you think you're off GSP, or would you be ready from now?
Well, I'm hoping to fight Thiago Alves next. That's who we want. So if I win that fight, then I'll fight GSP next, if he's the champion. So we're trying real hard. We've already tried on both sides to make the fight happen. Right now the fight isn't working out. It's not for our half. We want the fight more than anything. So hopefully in the next month or so it'll come around and we'll get that fight. And I respect Thiago a lot. I think he's a great fighter and he's in a great position. And it would be a great opportunity to try to get a fight like that and take advantage of that.
Who do you got, BJ or GSP?
I don't do predictions. I hate doing predictions.
Do you have a hope?
I'm friends with them both. I know them both. I'm not as good friends with GSP as I am with BJ, but I have so much respect for both of them. And I hate making predictions. I mean, when you're in the sport and you see these guys all the time, you train with them, and you hate saying someone's going to lose. People never forget when you go against them. So I hate to do that. I will say it's going to be an incredible fight, and I'm really looking forward to it. So I think it's going to be an amazing fight.
Here.
No, all my questions was answered already. do you have any advice for up and coming fighters, like stuff that's helped you? Or?
Yeah, as far as advice, I mean, you just gotta. The biggest thing I've always done through my career, I never really had anything when I started out that was going to carry me where I'm at right now. You know, I never had any kind of extraordinary talents or abilities. It's just the persistence and fortitude of continuously going forward and continuously training. I mean, I can't tell you how many people in my life has told me I wasn't going to be in the UFC and I wasn't going to, fighting wasn't going to take me anywhere, and I should do this and I should do that. You know, you just ignored it and you truck forward. You have to know in your mind if that's what you want to do and if that's what you want to succeed at. And if it is, you know, you shouldn't stop for nothing. You know, just keep pushing forward, training hard, getting good training partners, making sure that every day you're training your max. And I mean, for me, it worked. You know, I mean, I'm where I want to be right now. I'm living my dream. I've always wanted to be in the UFC. I'm going on my 10th fight, so yeah, that's pretty much all I had. I didn't have any crazy abilities.
Having fought at 2 higher weight levels before, do you feel the difference in your strength and your power, or do you feel relatively stronger for it now?
You know, I've always felt really strong in all my divisions except the Okami fight. Was the only time I really felt like the strength was an issue and it was against me. But I definitely feel really strong in welterweight. You know, I feel like I've kept all the strength I had at middleweight, and I feel like I'm basically the same fighter. I'm just cutting a little bit of weight. So I think now the only difference is I'm fighting guys that aren't as big and strong as the guys I was fighting at middleweight who are humongous.
Do you feel faster at welterweight?
Definitely.
Yeah?
You know, it was tough because when I first dropped, I had a real bad fight against Berkman. You know, I won the fight, but it was a real bad performance on my part. I'm sure most of you guys know that fight, and you have those days where you don't show up and things don't go right. And because it was my first fight at welterweight, it got judged as, you know, is this the right division for you? Are you going to be okay at this division? And the bottom line is that had nothing to do with me being a welterweight. I feel very strong and very confident, very fast, very explosive at welterweight. So I felt like the Davis fight was a lot better in showing that, and then obviously the Goulet fight. But I definitely am where I need to be. I know that.
Mike, you're a little humble. I mean, didn't you also break your hand in the Berkman fight?
No. I didn't.
No?
I didn't break my hand. I have, you know, there's injuries that go into every fight, but I don't want to be complaining about, you know, injuries. You lose a fight or you win a fight and you come out and you say you're injured, and that's the downside of the sport. You know, you can never have excuses. You know, you never like those guys that make excuses. So, you know, for whatever reason, you know going in, and that's what makes the sport so respectable, like the sport amongst ourselves, because we know what it takes to fight in this type of competition. And when you get in that ring, you know, you're telling the world you're ready to fight, you're capable of winning. If it doesn't happen, you have a bad performance, you lose. I mean, you've seen it with other fighters in the past. They've lost, they got on the mic like, oh man, I've twisted my ACL and all this. It could be true, and it could be respectable that they fought with an injury, but they could be lying. But instantly, it's a negative. You know, it's a negative feeling you get. So, you know, in this sport, it's unforgiving. You get in there and you fight. You know, you're telling the world you're capable of winning, and if you don't, you got to suck it up and say, sorry, I'll come back next time.
Good.
How did you feel the first time you won in the UFC?
Oh man, I felt really good.
Alex Schoenauer?
Yeah, Schoenauer, because I didn't think it was. I mean, it's one of those game plans that was like, yeah, I'm going to do it, but man, that's going to be a tough one because Schoenauer, you know, he was beating up Forrest on the feet on the show, and I know he's a scrappy guy, and he's way bigger than me. I mean, he's like 3 inches bigger than me, a lot longer, and he's really strong. So, you know, I knew the game plan had to be to attack him where he's going to attack me. I knew he was going to try to charge and do what he did to Forrest, because I mean, he was beating Forrest on the feet. So our game plan was to go in there and just bulldoze through him. And I'd look at myself in the mirror and I'd be like, bulldoze through him, huh? I don't know. I don't know about this.